Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to be giving you my first impressions of my Hobonichi. So I have been using this every day for the last month, and so I thought it would be time to give you guys a little update, share you my thoughts and things like that. So yeah, first things first, I realized that in my last video I was calling this a Hobonichi Techno. Turns out that it's actually a Hobonichi Techo. There's no N, so I don't know where I was getting that from, but yeah, so it's actually a Hobonichi Techo. Techo is a Japanese word. I remember looking up briefly what it meant, but I do not remember in this moment. But yeah, so basically I was calling it the wrong thing. But yes, in front of me I have my Hobonichi Techo Avec cousin. And a cousin just means that this is the A5 Hobonichi. There's also the original Hobonichi, which is A6 size. It is just called cousin because it's like a cousin of the Hobonichi. And so, yeah, and the Avec means that it is only half the year, so this is only July to December. And so, yeah, now that all the technicalities are out of the way, let's get started. So first things first, as you can see, I do have a case for my Hobonichi. I did not get this when I bought my Hobonichi. I got this separately because I wasn't really sure what kind of case that I wanted to get. This is one of the official Hobonichi ones, and it just is very plain. Obviously, I want to decorate this with stickers and stuff, but my plan is to get, so on top of the covers for the Hobonichi, you can also get a plastic cover which goes on top of this to protect this. So in case you didn't have enough protection of your notebook from like the one cover, you can get a cover for your cover. So my plan is to cover this in stickers, but then also get the clear cover just to protect the stickers on top of it, because once I put stickers on this and I start using it, I know the stickers are going to get damaged. So I'm going to be one of those people that has a cover for their cover, but it's all in the good nature of protecting stickers. So yeah. Anyway, initially when I got this cover, I kind of thought it was ugly. This is kind of what it looks like on the side. So yeah, I kind of thought this was ugly. I don't really love it. I don't love the feel of it. And I also think that these pen lip things here are too big. They just kind of stick out and it's just not appealing to me. So I feel like in the future, I will not be getting like an official Hobonichi cover. That being said, I do find the cover quite useful because it does have a big pouch in the back, which I do keep some stickers in, as you guys can see. We'll go into these a little bit later, but I do use the pouch in the back. And then also when you open it up, it does have more pouches here. We've got some things in this little pocket, and we've got some storage things here as well. And then in the back, it does have, again, like another little pouch you can put things in. And you can also slide things in like here in the back cover, as well as in the front. You could put stuff in where the actual cover is and stuff. So yeah, I would definitely say that despite the appearance of the cover, it is quite handy. I do enjoy the fact that it has all these pockets and things. But yeah, we'll just kind of see what I decide to do next year. I think I'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the video. But yeah, so into my actual Hobonichi, we'll kind of talk about how I've been using it and things like that. I'll show you guys kind of what I have in the pockets here. So this here is just random offcuts of sticker paper that I have that I don't really want to throw away because I think I'll use it for something. So I just kind of store that in here just in case, you never know when you need random sticker paper. So I have that. And then I have some stickers here. These are like travel related ones. I want to bring my Hobonichi when I go to Australia. So I just have these travel stickers. You guys saw these in my recent haul video. So we've got the Papershire ones and the Coffee Monsters Co. ones. Along with that, I have this, which is like a weird little notebook thing, which I found whenever I got my Hobonichi. So I have that, so I've just kept that in there. And then also I have this little note, which again just came with my Hobonichi. I've just kind of kept it because I'm a hoarder. So yeah, that's kind of what's in here. My only criticism about these pockets would be that the one that's deepest is this one at the bottom. So these ones up here are shallow. So like, for example, if I was to take this sticker and put it in here, like, it's not that deep. This is as far as it goes in. which is kind of sad. I kind of wish that this was like really deep, like the full depth of the thing, but it kind of makes sense that it isn't. So yeah, these pockets are really shallow. That's why I don't really have anything in them. And then also I have these stickers at the bottom. These I was thinking I was going to keep because I want to put them in a wedding journal. If I decide to do a physical wedding journal for wedding planning and stuff, I thought these would be really cute to have in them. And so, yeah, I've just been keeping them to the side just because I'm not ready to commit to using them. But I did pull them out of my collection because I was like, maybe if we start the wedding planning and stuff, I will have these for that. But yeah, anyway, that is what's in the front pocket of my Hobonichi. Then we move into the actual pages. So this one is very wrinkled. The reason being is that I've glued two pages here together. So yeah, this is very wrinkled, kind of not cute. I might put stickers on this as well. I'm just not sure yet. But that is the front. You guys can kind of see the glue is not really holding these pages together that well. But yeah, so I've glued these two pages together because I don't think I'll use them. It was just the sort of calendar year at a glance. Didn't really think I was going to use it, so I've glued them together. We've got the index, which I haven't used. I don't know if I will use this or not, but I'm kind of keeping it open at the minute. Maybe if I don't use it, I will also glue these pages together just because I don't really like having them blank if I'm not going to use them. It makes sense to glue them together. This is the second index. And then this is us moving into the monthlies. If you guys watched my last haul video, then you know I bought sticker kits for all the monthlies. These are from Coffee Monsters Co. As you can see, I've just kind of filled in for the month of June because the Hobonichi actually starts in July, but it did have this June monthly, so I thought it was kind of cool to fill that in for memory keeping purposes. And then we have July, August. I'm just going to do a quick flip through. September, October, November, December. And as you can see in the second half of the year, I haven't actually filled anything in on these yet. I kind of like to do it as the month comes. So if there's like big things and stuff, I'll probably keep them noted. As you guys can see, I've kind of marked out the whole of September for when I'm going to be in Australia. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm using this. Not really getting a ton of use out of these pages yet, but that's where we are. So another page I glued together was there was another monthly for January 2026, but I was like not going to use it in this because I feel like I would use that in my next Hobonichi. So I've glued the pages together. So that brings us straight into our weeklies. So yeah, first things first, this week was the week that I was going to London for Sabrina Carpenter, and this week is completely memory planned. For the other weeks, I kind of do a mix between memory planning and planning at the time, but this one is completely memory planned. I had to write down what I did, and so I was trying to retroactively put this in. And this was using the weekly kit that I got from Coffee Monsters Co. So this is the only time that I'm going to be using a purpose made kit for my Hobonichi. It's looking a little bit sparse, but that's okay. I feel like this is kind of when I was starting to try and find my groove with things. Obviously, because the weeklies have the little like time table going down the left hand side, I try to put things in around the time that I was doing them. Obviously, it's not always the most accurate, but that's kind of where we were at with this. But yeah, I really like this. I think it's really fun. Then we're going to move into this. So, this is the first week where I was kind of properly using the weeklies. So, like I said before, this one was all memory planned, but this one I was planning as I went. And I really love how this looks. It's so fun to me. So, first things first, this sticker kit is a repurposed one from Planner Face. So, like I said, when I first got my Hobonichi, I have all of these leftover sticker kits from the last time I was sticker planning. So I have about a year's worth of leftover sticker kits to use, and so obviously, what better way to use them than in a new planner? So yes, all of the stickers that you're going to be seeing are from leftover sticker kits, or they are character stickers which I've collected during my memory planning times. I really like this approach mainly because it means I can use up the stickers that I already own, and I can save a little bit of money as well because sticker kits can be expensive, and because I always buy the ultimate kits for sticker kits, I always have a ton of leftovers. So I really think it's good that I get more use out of the sticker kits. So as you can see, this was like a leftover tall box that I had, and then I had all of these little functional boxes. Now, I will say that I've had to cut all of these boxes to fit the space for the Hobonichi because the sticker kits that I bought are originally for an A5 wide size planner. And as you can see, these are not A5 size wide columns. These are a lot narrower. So yeah, every sticker that I put in here, I do have to cut down to size. That's why if you guys see that there's any wonky edges to the sticker or anything, it's because I've had to manually cut them. You can't really see them in this spread. I feel like I did a good job of covering them with stickers, but yeah, needless to say, the cutting of the stickers has been a little bit of a learning process. But this was the first week that I was doing the planning as I go kind of thing. So some of this is memory planning and some of it is planning as I go. So these ones with checklists, these are the ones that I was doing on the day. And I really like this kind of idea of like having a to-do list to do for the day and checking things off. Other days, like these ones, are more memory planning vibes in that I didn't know what I was doing that day and I kind of just filled it in as I went. But yeah, I really like this style of planning. I think it works a lot better for me than memory planning because I think what happened to me with the memory sticker planning was that I was getting too far behind and I was always catching up. So I always was behind on spreads and it just kind of felt overwhelming for me to complete. Whereas this is a kind of thing that I'm doing as I go along the week. So it means that I'm never memory planning, I'm never behind. So I kind of like that idea. So, like I said, this is the first week I was doing that. Then this is the second week. Again, this is a repurposed kit from Planner Face. It's like a summer beach reader vibe. We've got the tall box. We've got this other little box, which I didn't use in the spread. We're using our weekend banners. Guys, I never use the weekend banners in my old planners, but I'm using them here. And I'm also using the heart checklists. I have a lot of these from Planner Face because I didn't use them in my other planner. So yeah, I'm really excited to be using stickers I've never really used before and finding a new use for all of my character stickers. I have so many of these just from my memory planning and I'm really glad that I'm able to use them again and in a very similar way. But yeah, like I said, I really love this. I really love seeing how the spread's going to turn out as the weeks go on. And the only thing I will say is I kind of wish I had more to put along the bottom and along the top of the weekly spreads because I don't do a lot in the very early hours or the very late hours of the day. So these are kind of always the places that are left blank. In the last two spreads, like this one and this one, I did have some washi strips that I could put down, but I didn't have any for this spread, so it kind of just looks a bit bare at the bottom. I might take some washi tape or something just to kind of put something there so it doesn't look too empty. Obviously, I've got a few things at the top here so it doesn't look so bad. So then moving on to this week. This week is a repurposed Pride kit from Scribble Prints Co. This time I did have some rainbow washi that I put in, but I put it in after I put in this little weekend banner. So I kind of wish that I had remembered about the washi tape first and then put the weekend banner just because it looks weird that it's kind of cut off here. But yeah, like to have something at the bottom and then we have like little deco bits at the top which is just left over from the kit. And so yeah, one thing I will say is that I really hate this gap. Sometimes there'll be a gap, and that's just because I genuinely don't have anything to write in the space. It's not always the case for other days. Like, obviously, if work is busy and stuff, I can kind of write stuff in, but this one really big gap is really annoying me. And I really wish I had something to fill up the space there, but I don't. So if you guys have any suggestions of how to fill in like just this one little space right here, that would be really helpful. Obviously, in the Purpose Made Hobonichi kits for like this one with Coffee Monsters Co., it did come with these boxes which fit perfectly in the columns and stuff, which is perfect for when you don't have a lot going on that day, you can put them in. But I don't really have anything for this, and it's just kind of annoying. I might try and print out like some sort of Pride related sticker or something, just because like the rest of the week is so full and then this just looks so empty. But yeah, anyway, moving on to this week. So this is the current week that we're in, and I'm filming this on the 30th. As you can see, I've filled in nothing for this day. I really need to do it. But the way that I sort of pre-plan my weeks is that I put in some stickers. So these ones at the top are for when I'm going to be marking work, but I don't necessarily know what kind of sticker I want to use that day or anything, so I kind of leave it blank. So I put in these placeholders, and then I have one down here for when I go to Hoop as well. And then I kind of just wait until the day and then see where it takes us. So I kind of like this little style I've got going on where I kind of alternate between putting in a box and then leaving a space blank. I kind of like that it kind of adds dimension to it. And so yeah, this is kind of what we're like when the spreads are taking place. Obviously this week I put this little washi table on the top. I don't really have anything for the bottom, but I think it might be fine. This is just a little bookmark thing, which is part of the Hobonichi cover. So I kind of use this to mark the place I'm at. This is a repurposed kit from Scribble Friends Co. And it is also the kit that I keep in the back of my planner. So what I keep in the back of my planner is these are the Coffee Monsters Co. stickers. These are from the leftover weekly sticker kit. And then I have all of the monthly stickers, which I hauled in my last video. So that's kind of what I keep in the back in case, I need to fill in a monthly. I have all these stickers to do it. And then I also keep in, this is the leftover sticker kit, which I'm using for this week. So when I'm not at my desk, when I'm out and about, I can bring this out and then start filling in this week. So I'll just kind of show you guys really quickly. This is what a leftover sticker kit from Scribble Friends Co. looks like for me. We have this add-on, which is like these extra boxes. We've got this page, we've got Dego bits, which I can put along the top. We've got one other full box, which I'll probably put in. Oh, we have two extra full boxes, so I can put that in as well. And so yeah, that's kind of what's left over from an ultimate sticker kit. And as you can see, there's so many boxes and things, so I can definitely get good use out of this by putting it in here. That's how I've been doing my weeklies. As you guys can see, I've been really enjoying it. I've been having a lot of fun. One thing I will say is though, that when I'm traveling, when I'm going to Australia for a month, this is not what my weekly kits are going to look like, because I'm definitely not going to be carting a million sticker kits to Australia. I'm not going to be bringing any of my character stickers or anything like that. So I expect when I go away that the spreads are going to look a lot more bare. They're going to be like this, but they're just going to be pen, which hurts my soul a little bit just because I know it's not going to be as pretty. But I've already thought about it, and I know that I don't really want to be doing memory planning for when I'm away because I'm away for too long, and I would rather just do it in the moment. So yeah, when I'm away, spreads are going to look a lot plainer, not going to have as much of a pizzazz. Obviously, I might do some decorating before I go, but yeah, it's not going to be as pretty as these spreads, which is unfortunate, but it's just the reality of life. And I know that, like, as I progress in life and things get busier, this is not always what these spreads are going to look like. Like, this is just because I have the time to do it in the evenings and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's where we are with the weekly spreads. I'm going to apologize if this video is a million years long. I just have been really excited to talk about my Hobonichi. So yeah, moving on, we're going to go into the dailies. So for every monthly page, I have these Pantone postcards from Papershire. So for every monthly page in my Hobonichi, I have these Pantone inspired postcards from Papershire. And the reason why I have these is because a few years ago, Papershire did one of these Pantone inspired postcards for every month in the year. And I bought them and I've never used them, but I was planning to use them to mark every month in my journal. And so for the first half of the year in my old journal, I was using these to mark the start of a new month. And then when I moved to my Hobonichi, I decided to keep up the theme so that I could use up all the postcards. Along with these postcards, we also have this monthly sticker. This monthly sticker is from Planner Face. I'm pretty sure I got these in like a Advent or some sort of event. I had these like floral monthly stickers, so I also use those. If I do a quick little flip, you guys can see. So this one is for August, and then we've got September, October, November, and then we also have December. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing with the monthly page. I think this kind of works out for me because I had these and I was already going to do this anyway. So I really like that they give you like the blank page so that you can add something to it. Not really sure what I would do with this in the future, probably just kind of decorate it seasonally or something, but that's kind of what I've been doing for the monthly page. Then moving on to the daily journaling entries. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to show you guys of this because I will be blurring like the entire page, but this is how I've been doing my spreads. So the way that I decided to do this is that I kind of decorate by the week. So each week will kind of have a theme of the stickers that I want to use. So for the first week in the journal, I'm using stickers from Sadie Stickers, and as you can see, there are all these like pink and floral ones. I tried to use floral stickers to cover up the quotes at the bottom. So if I show you an undecorated page, so this is what an undecorated page looks like. As you can see, we have all these quotes and stuff at the bottom. And as you can see, these are in Japanese. And in case you guys didn't know, I don't know Japanese. So I thought instead of just leaving them blank, I would try to cover them. This worked really well initially with these floral stickers. I was able to find ones that kind of covered the quote completely. And as you can see, as we go into the weeks, like this is the first week, it covers really nicely. Oh, this is my Sabrina Carpenter sticker. Guys, I don't know if you know, but if you watched one of my haul videos at the start of the year, I got this sticker from Scribble Prints Co. because I said that I wanted to see Sabrina Carpenter in person. At the time, I didn't have tickets to a concert. I didn't even know if it was going to be a possibility for me, but I kept it because I was manifesting. And this is the day I actually did get to see Sabrina Carpenter in Hyde Park. So, yeah, I'm just going to put it out there that my manifesting worked. But yeah, so I used this sticker to decorate, obviously, the day I went to see Sabrina, along with the other decorative stickers. As you can see, this day, the stickers did not really cover the quote, which is not amazing, but I did my best. But as we go through, I can show you guys the next week's the stickers didn't really cover it. So for this one, for example, I used washi tape to cover it, but you can still kind of see that it's there. It didn't cover the best. Yeah, this, I don't love this, but it is what it is. And then for the third week, I kind of again tried to do washi tape the whole way across. This I think worked a little bit better just because it's not so obvious that I was trying to hide something. It just kind of looks like I just put washi tape along the bottom, but still not the best. So if you guys have any suggestions for how I cover up the bottom, let me know. Or maybe I'll just keep it like with the quote exposed. I don't really know. But yeah. And the other thing that I will say about my dailies is that I don't use the little like timeline thing at the side, but I also don't like to write over it because I feel like it's weird when I write over it because you can tell that there's like, something pre-printed on the page. So I kind of just have this as a margin. It's kind of ugly. I think I did cover it up when I was doing this weekly spread. I had some washi tape down the side, which I think looks better to like kind of cover it up so that you know that like there's not a thing there. But I don't really want to be using the same washi tape every time. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for how I cover up this margin, let me know. Sometimes I put stickers over it, sometimes I try to do something with it, but for the most part, I kind of just leave it blank. Then I move into the final week. Again, some kind of poor covering up of the quotes at the bottom. Not my favorite. Obviously, you can see that I've been trying to cover something up, which I don't love. So yeah, not really sure what I'm going to do about that. In terms of the size of the page and the content that I can write, I actually find that this is like quite a decent space to write in. Sometimes I don't always have a lot to say, but I always manage to fill up the space. So that's pretty good. Obviously, I was a bit concerned about the size of writing and how much I was going to fit in, but if I take my time, I can really get in a lot of words. I feel like some have more words than others, but that's just how it is. In terms of the difference between weekly journaling and daily journaling, so in case you guys didn't know, when I was journaling before, I was only journaling once a week. To go from doing that to doing it every day has been a little bit of a challenge. Obviously, it's just something I have to make time for. And also, like I said, I don't always have a lot to say during the day, but I actually kind of like this. So if I'm working from home, usually what I would do is I would write a little bit in the morning and then kind of fill it in as the day goes on. Obviously, for days that I'm in the office and I don't get home till later, I'll just write the full page. at the time. But yeah, I think it's working well. There have been a couple of days where I've forgotten to write and then I just write in the next day, but that's fine. I think it'll be interesting to compare what I put in my daily entries compared to what I was putting in the weekly ones, because obviously when you're journaling for an entire week, you kind of just do the highlights, whereas for dailies, you could really like get nitpicky into everything that happened in the day and stuff like that. But yeah, still trying to find my groove with this, I think, because I'm trying to not just reiterate all the stuff I've done that day, just because obviously in the weekly spreads, this is kind of where I put in what I actually did the day. So I feel like I shouldn't really have to put that in the journaling bit. But yeah, still trying to figure out what the vibes are with this and just seeing as we go. In terms of the thinness of the page, I feel like when I made my first journal entry, I was leaning too hard on the paper. So if I flip to the page before, you can see that there's a lot of indentation on this page from when I was leaning on the book. So immediately I was like, okay, you gotta lean less heavy on the paper because it's quite thin. So I did that and it was kind of fine. I haven't really had any issue with the thinness of the paper until we got to here. So if I lift this page up, I don't know how well you guys can see, but there's a little bit of an indent from where this postcard is. When you see it laid flat here, you can see the outline of the journaling card through the page, but you can really see that there's a clear indent between here and here. And it's literally just because of when I've been leaning when I'm writing. I didn't have that in the beginning because I'd started journaling, like I'd done a couple of pages in my journal first before I stuck this down because I didn't know how it was going to be writing immediately on the other side of this page because, there would be a little bit of a dip in the page from like where the card is versus where it isn't, and it is very evident on this page. So not loving that, and I'm going to have to put in I'm going to have to put something underneath this for when I'm writing, because otherwise like the writing quality is just going to go down. There's going to be like a big dip when I'm writing the word or something. It's just not going to look nice. So yeah, I'm going to have to put something like even like this kind of thing in between when I'm writing, just to kind of stop that indent from being so prominent. That's, I guess, my only criticism about the pages. Obviously, I haven't been junk journaling or anything in this. I have stuck in like one thing in this journal so far. It's like this little photo booth thing of me and my friends. But obviously, this is not glued down. This is kind of just washi taped in, so it can flip. So I have more space to write. Not really sure how this will look when I start, sticking more stuff in. I imagine that when I go to Australia, I'd probably be doing a bit more junk journaling and stuff in this journal. So it'll just be kind of interesting to see how the pages hold up in terms of, junk journaling. But for the most part, day to day use and stuff, I think it's been fine. Even when I stuck in all of these journaling cards, I don't really feel like it made much of an impact in terms of like the pages. Obviously, the closer you get to an actual journaling card, the more it's going to impact your pages. But for the most part, it hasn't been too bad. I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to say about my Hobonichi. In terms of the back pages, I haven't actually used these and I don't really think that I will. But I also don't think that I will glue these together just because there's like quite a few of them. So I feel like gluing this many pages together is going to make quite a difference. So I think I'll just leave them as they are, see maybe what other people have been doing with the last pages. But yeah, overall, very happy with my Hobonichi, really enjoying it. That's why I wanted to make this video. Honestly, I just wanted to talk about it and how I'm using it and how I'm really liking it. This is kind of how thick the journal is at the minute. Looking forward to seeing how it looks at the end of the year. Nothing too crazy. In terms of getting a Hobonichi for next year, I think that I absolutely will. And I think instead of getting the full Hobonichi cousin, I think that I might just get two Avecs because obviously this is just this half of the year, but I can see this getting really chunky by the end of the year. And so if I imagine having a cousin, like a full Hobonichi cousin, which is literally the full year in one book, I can imagine it getting maybe like a little too thick for me. So I feel like I might stick with the two halves of the year like this and seeing how we go. Obviously, I could change my mind. Like maybe I get to the end of next year with the two notebooks and be like, maybe it would have been easier if it was one. but I think currently how I'm feeling is I'll probably just get another Hobonichi Avec. One thing that I wanted to mention also about ordering one for next year is that I'm not sure if I want to order directly from the Hobonichi website or if I'm going to try and find a UK wholesaler that is a lot closer just to kind of try and save on shipping costs, because I bought this one and I paid for the shipping, and the notebook cost £21, but it also cost me £21 to ship it to the UK, which I don't love. But also, Hobonichi has announced that it is getting rid of free shipping everywhere. So you don't even get free shipping in Japan, you don't get free shipping anywhere anymore. So that might kind of affect if people decide to buy Hobonichi or not. I know there's been a lot of discussion on the subreddit about this. And so for me personally, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. It's kind of upsetting, to be honest, to find Hobonichi at this time when they are doing a lot of changing to the shipping rules, just because obviously I really love this and I really want to get another one. But if there's going to be like issues with shipping and getting it and stuff, maybe it's not worth the hassle. But we're just going to see what happens. We are in the early stages of when Hobonichi is announcing its products for 2026, so I'm kind of interested to see what we have going forward. Like I said, I'll probably stick with the Hobonichi Avec. I know that it doesn't come in an English version, but I think that's fine. Yeah, so if you get the full Hobonichi cousin, you can get an English version, and that means that all of the quotes and things like these will be in English instead of Japanese. But I also feel like if I got the English version, that maybe knowing what the quotes say would actually bother me, because I'm not really an inspirational quote girly. I'm not really a motivational quote girly. It's not really for me. And I feel like maybe knowing what this said in an English version would maybe ruin it for me. So maybe I'll stick with the Japanese versions anyway. But yeah, those are all my thoughts on the Hobonichi. As you can see, I really love it. I'm really excited to continue this journey next year and kind of see where we go. I'm not really sure if I'll do other videos regarding my Hobonichi. Maybe I will do like a flip through at the end of the year of like all my weekly spreads, just so you guys can kind of see. Although I feel like they kind of all look very similar. There's not really anything that I would change about this. Like I kind of have the format and everything on lock, but maybe I'll still do a little flip through, show you guys how it's kind of progressed, show you the reality of what it's like to use a Hobonichi on the road when you're traveling. So I did take my Hobonichi with me when I went to London for Sabrina Carpenter, but the only thing I was filling in were these daily pages. And so it wasn't really that difficult because I just had to find time to, write something about the day. But I think it'll be more interesting to see when I'm actually traveling for a long time, how much I actually end up journaling versus, skipping the day because I'm really busy and stuff like that. So yeah, I might do a video where I compare the realities of using this, like when you're actually on the go and you're busy versus, whenever you're planning and have all the time you want to do it. But aside from that, I think that's kind of it on the Hobonichi content. But never say never. I'm sure that I will find probably more reasons to talk about my Hobonichi if I'm really passionate about it. But yeah, anyway, this is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And let me know in the comments below what kind of planner slash journal you guys are using. Do you guys use something similar to Hobonichi? Do you use something completely different? Let me know. And yeah, if you made it this far in this video, like I said, I congratulate you because I know I was rambling a lot. But yeah, that's everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.